Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pius Odhiambo, and I'm the creator of KISWATE Digital Academy. KISWATE Digital Academy is an app that is going to reduce the cost of operations of 10,000 schools in the Republic of Kenya. Our motto is Many Schools, One Digital Academy, and that is our website. Our website. Uh, so Uh, I'm a data scientist, a digital teacher, and a philanthropist based in Washington, D.C., in the United States of America. Currently, I'm the lead data scientist at Blue Nile Analytica. I'm a licensed math teacher with Maryland State Department of Education in the state of Maryland in the United States. I'm a registered math and physics teacher with Teacher Service Commission of Kenya. I worked with TSC for over 10 years. And currently, I'm a math teacher at Parkdale High School, which is a CBC digital school in Maryland, in the United States. I'm also an adjunct professor of data science at Trinity Washington University in Washington, D.C., in the United States. For my education, I went to Luero Primary School and St. Mary's Okwala High School, both in Siaya County in Western Kenya, and also attended Kenyatta University in Nairobi, Kenya. When I relocated to the United States, I went to the University of Maryland Global Campus, George Washington University in Washington, D.C. in the United States. I also attended University of Texas at Austin in the state of Texas and Bowie State University in the state of Maryland in the United States. My achievements are I'm the creator of KISWATE Digital Academy. That is our website. I'm the Director General of Blue Nile Analytica. Again, that's our website. So Blue Nile Analytica was part of the companies that developed the Bachelor of Data Science degree at the Open University of Kenya. I'm also the founder of KISWATE Scholarship Fund. That's our website. Since COVID-19, we have educated over 350 students go through high school. Some of those students have graduated from the university as medical doctor, teachers, engineers, computer scientists, and they are now working with different organizations in various parts of the world. I'm also a honorary listee at McHughes, Who is Who in America, and I'm a member of the Alpha Chi Society of America. At McHughes, Who is Who, I'm just two steps behind the former president of the United States, Barack Obama. I'm Elon Musk, who was a featured listee with the McHughes, Who is Who in America. Now, after saying that, uh, I'm developing an app after doing research for 11 years in the United States, and this app is supposed to reduce the cost of operations of our schools in the Republic in Africa. And since charity begins at home, we are starting with the Republic of Kenya. Schools are broke. The future of government subsidies is not known, and some of the schools cannot even afford to hire teachers. They're facing shortages of teachers. So it was in my thinking that with the introduction of a digital academy through an app, some of the services that are being offered, that the services that these schools require can be shared in a digital platform. And when this is done, we are going to reduce the cost of these particular services. Now, in this app, we are going to have KISWATE learning management systems. I do know there are so many learning management systems, and because this one is specific to KISWATE, is developed by KISWATE and specific to the Kenyan schools. When they're implementing the CBC curriculum, we are calling it KISWATE Learning Management System. The other component of the app is KISWATE Dynamic Digital Text Library. This is a library that uses a dynamic digital textbook. This is a textbook invented by myself after 11 years of research in the United States. It is the first of its kind in the world, even in the United States. America is very much developed. We don't have this kind of textbook. And then finally, we are going to generate in revenues from the first two components of the app. Part of the revenue raised will be used to sponsor vulnerable and needy students from the schools that shall have subscribed to this app. Currently, we have sponsored students. We continue to sponsor students in our adopted schools, and we want to even upscale this when we start generating income. When we dedicate a certain percentage of the revenue raised in a year to go back to the schools to give scholarships to the vulnerable students. Now, ladies and gentlemen, at the moment, kindly allow me to talk about the first module, which is the KISWATE Learning Management System. Here, we are developing an app to track the attendance and discipline of the students in the school. We are calling it KISWATE Digital Register or KISWATE Attendance and Discipline Tracking Register. And how are we going to do this? We're going to do this through a smart ID. A smart ID is just like an ATM bank card, where instead of giving the students the current analog student ID, we're going to give them an ID in form of a smart ID, and the students can use this ID to access several services within the school ecosystem, which we are going to see later in our presentation. Then another thing in this module, we have digital and remote teaching and learning. This is whereby we have to bring in an alternative teaching and learning platform where schools without enough teachers, to schools that are facing social shortages of teachers, and just log into our system and then have their students attend our lessons or our classes digitally via digital platform. By doing this, we'll be addressing the issue of teacher shortages. We'll be addressing the issue of unplanned teachers absenteeism within our schools. So another component in the school financial management and analysis system. And then the last component will be dynamic digital timetable, where teachers will not have, principal of schools will not have to struggle to make the timetable, given the many pathways the CBC curriculum has introduced in our school system. So under KISWATE Dynamic Digital Library, we're going to have a dynamic digital textbook. This textbook will cost approximately $1 per student per year, and reducing the cost of textbook from the current 1,500 to 150 shillings. And that will be a very good thing for our parents. We also have a dynamic digital lesson plan, worksheets, and answer keys. This is already operational, and we have it on our website, where teachers can generate lesson plans in minutes, in seconds, using an AI lesson plan generator. Later in my presentation, I'm going to demonstrate how that is done. Then we'll have dynamic exams analysis and dynamic digital exam. And finally, after we raise money or we raise revenue from this particular initiative, we are going to have the module of KISWATE Scholarship Fund, where we have a KISWATE Scholarship Fund application, and any student from any of the schools that will utilize our system, our app, will be free to apply for a scholarship. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to move to the next component of the app. This is what I've already talked about: KISWATE Digital Register via Smart ID, dynamic digital timetable, lesson plan, worksheets. This one is worksheets, not mark sheets. Worksheets, answer key generator, digital remote teaching learning, uh, teaching, stock learning, and school financial management system. Under the digital library, we have dynamic digital textbook, digital exams analysis, remote teacher recruitment, and finally, under the scholarship module, we have KISWATE scholarship application. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this particular section, we are talking about a digital register, and this digital register is going to be available on the Appstore from December 20th, 2025. And this register will use smart ID technology to track attendance and discipline on per lesson basis. It empowers teachers to act as class monitors during their lessons. It enables real-time visibility of student activity across school departments. And we are talking about this administration. When this school administration uses this platform, we're going to refer to them as a smart school. When we have parents logging in our system, tracking student attendance, discipline, trips, etc., events that are taking place, we call these parents smart parents. And then under security support services, we have school gate. When they check in at the school gate using the smart ID, we'll call that a smart ID gate. And the dining hall, we call it a smart dining hall or a smart meal card. And the dormitory, when they're taking the roll call at the dormitory on a weekend, we call that dormitory a smart dormitory. And for the school trips, like the school bus, when they're going for a trip, we'll call in this a smart bus. Now, if a school is able to implement all these features I'm talking about, then we'll refer to that school as a smart school. Now, advantages of the digital register. This will cut down the cost of running schools due to automation. It will increase efficiency, and will also have reliable data and reporting for real-time informed data-driven decision-making. An example, we do have our sub-county directors, the 210 of them, and we also have 47 county directors, from both the Ministry of Education and Teacher Service Commission of Kenya. We'll just need access to our dashboards to track the attendance records in any school in Kenya. No more writing of emails and memos to principal. And this will be something very nice, good to the principal, because the time that the principal usually use to respond to these emails or to respond to these memos by tracking down the attendance manually, will know, they will know when they stop doing this, they can use this time for other important aspects of the school management, because these sub-county directors and county director will just need access to our system to monitor the attendance in any of the schools in the Republic of Kenya. Now, our prayer to the Ministry of Education, we have already submitted our expression of interest, a proposal, and this is our prayer to the Ministry of Education to give us the license to roll out the digital register to senior secondary schools, to 10,000 senior secondary schools in Kenya, starting with the admission of grade 10 students in senior secondary schools in January 2026. So we have been working with schools, around 50 schools. We have earmarked 50 schools as to pilot this project. And 3 of the schools, this is Weyundo, Kagonya, and Hawinga Girls, all from Siaya County, have already given us approval from their boards of management to use this register in their schools. 18 of the schools promised to send their approvals from their boards of management by the end of January 2026, and 30 schools are yet to decide. Now, in this particular section, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about addressing teacher shortages in the Republic of Kenya. And one way of reducing teacher shortages and addressing teacher unplanned teachers absenteeism, missed lesson due to unplanned teachers absenteeism, is by using what we call digital remote teaching learning. So teaching and learning will take place remotely with both educators and learners connected through KISWATE Digital Academy App. And then this app will have learning management system, a digital library, and we'll have a system for application of scholarship. Now we'll use artificial intelligence to generate lesson plans, worksheets. This one is worksheets, not marksheets. Please make sure you correct this. And answer keys for teachers. The app is already ready. It's here. This is the link. I'm going to do a demo on this at the end of my presentation. We are also going to come up with what's called national transmission centers for remote lesson for STEM pathways: English, literature, Kiswahili, Fasihi, commerce, essential maths, physics, chemistry, biology, computer studies, electricity, metalwork, woodwork, and electricity. Electricity is done twice. We need to remove one of them. The advantages of digital platform is the digital teaching is that digital teaching and learning will offer an effective solution to challenges of teacher shortages, where one teacher can teach in over 10,000 schools in all the 47 counties in Kenya. And it will also solve the issue of unexpected or unplanned teachers' absenteeism. When a teacher is absent abruptly due to unavoidable circumstances like sickness or a bridge has collapsed, the teacher cannot cross the river to school. What the principal will do is just change to digital mode, and the students will be able to learn digitally, so that when the teacher comes back to school, we just continue from where the students have reached. So one KDA trained digital teacher can teach in more than 10,000 schools. At the same time, a demo is coming up soon. Our prayer to the Ministry of Education is that to set up a national transmission center for KISWATE. KISWATE will manage the center to offer an alternative to offer an alternative remote teachers to schools that cannot afford to hire BOM employed teachers. The center will comprise of 3 classes for grades 10, 11, and 12 in senior school, secondary schools, giving a total of 3 digital classrooms with 1 digital teacher per subject, teaching students in over 10,000 senior secondary schools at the same time across all the 47 counties in the Republic of Kenya. Now, the last module, ladies and gentlemen, is about the Dynamic Digital Library. It's the first dynamic digital library of its kind in the world. It uses the concept of dynamic digital textbook invented by a Kenyan teacher and data scientist Pius Odhiambo, that's myself, who is based in Washington, D.C., USA. The book will be sold complete with TSC registered digital teachers to assess the students when the traditional teacher at school is not available during weekends, during preps, or during school holidays. It will reduce the cost of textbooks in Kenya to approximately 150 shillings. That's $1 per textbook per student. A demo is coming up soon. Our prayer to the Ministry of Education is to provide KISWATE with the digital copies of the textbooks for conversion into dynamic mode that will allow KISWATE to use an artificial intelligence to make it cheaper for the parents. And this marks me to the end of my presentation. And before we go to question and answer session, let me do a demo on how to generate lesson plan using our lesson plan generator. So when you click at that link, it's available on our website, takes you to this plan. It takes you to this is what appears. As you can see, create a lesson plan. And here we are going to select the grade level of the students. I'm going to, I'm going to this time to take 12 grades. And I'm going to take the state of Maryland, where I live and work and where my children go to school. And after research, we have realized that the education standards of the state of Maryland in the United States is 95% of the CBC curriculum, no, 95% of these education standards of the state of Maryland in the United States is 95% of the CBC curriculum of Kenya. So when we generate a lesson plan for subjects like maths, which do not change, physics, chemistry, and biology, then it is as good as the CBE of Kenya. That's why I've chosen the state of Maryland. Now, the duration, we're going to do a double lesson, which takes 80 minutes. And additional details here, I'm going to take mathematics. I love mathematics. I used to like mathematics when in high school. I taught mathematics for 10 years in schools in Kenya. And there I'm teaching mathematics currently in the state of Maryland in the United States. And therefore, I can say that I have enough domain knowledge in teaching mathematics in the senior secondary schools in the Republic of Kenya. And from my profile, I have a TSA number. I used to teach mathematics and physics with Teacher Service Commission in Kenya. And currently, I'm a licensed in the state of Maryland in the United States to teach mathematics. And currently, I teach Algebra 1 at Parkdale High School, which is a CBC 100% digital school in the state of Prince George's County public school system in the state of Maryland in the United States. That's why I'm choosing mathematics. And here I'm going to choose a topic that is called linear programming. And now using this app generator, I just click here, generate. The AI is now generating. And after just a few minutes, we'll have our lesson plan. And after having a lesson plan, we'll go ahead and generate mark sheets, the homework for the students. And after generating the homework for students, we'll go ahead and generate the marking scheme. As you can see, it just use a couple of minutes. It's less than 1 minute. Here I have a lesson plan. And now, after having my lesson plan now, you come back here, more options, you click, and under more options, you say create worksheet and answer key. When you click, boom, the AI is generating again. This will just take a couple of minutes, and for it to generate this, and the teacher at the end of this will have now homework to give to the students. The teacher will also have marking scheme to use to grade this particular homework that we are generating just in a matter of couple of minutes. This one takes longer than generating the lesson plan, because here the system is trying to generate also the solutions to the homework. As you can see, this is the worksheet that we give the students. There's a provision for name. The student will write his name, his or her name here. You write the date. Next time we're going to update, the student is going to write their class here, because you can teach several class, or you can just write that by hand. So this is the homework. You can see, write a brief definition of linear programming in your own words. List 3 main components of linear programming problem. Feasible versus infeasible. So what is the difference between feasible and infeasible solution? Formulating a linear programming problem. There's a problem here. A farmer has got 100 acres of land. He can plant corn or wheat. Corn requires 1 acre and produces 300 per acre, while wheat requires 2 acres and produces 200 per acre. Now, that's an example that they given of a problem. Now, when you go now to our solution, our answer sheet for that, in the next one, when we click this, we come here and click on the third button, which is the answer key, and we check and look at this. This is now the problem. We are trying to have a solution to the formulated linear programming. So this is what's available in our text. For example, or the problem is this, and now identify objective function. So we're going to write objective function. The maximum the profit, we're going to have profit is equal to 300C plus 200W, and where C is acres of corn and W is acres of wheat. Now identify the constraints. We write the inequalities that represent the constraints of the problem. So C plus 2W is less than or equal to 100, and C greater than or greater than that 0, and W greater than 0, non-negativity constraint. Now part 3 is graphing. We're going to graph this, and when we graph that, we'll find the solution. And very quickly, Josephine, kindly allow me to do a demonstration. Josephine, can you write for me this down? You're going to read them for me. In my second demonstration, C plus 2W is less than or equal to 100. I don't have a paper with me right here. So please just write very quickly, or I can copy and paste somewhere. I don't know whether we'll be able to paste them somewhere, but I really wanted you to write them down. Let me paste there. Okay, I have them there. So very quickly, Josephine, this was not part of my presentation, but it's some of the tools we are working on. Demonstrate on this, how to graph this, using, if you're a digital teacher. So Josephine, please pay attention, desmos.org. So when we come to desmos.org, this one here, and this is another tool that we're going to put on our platform, that we want to put on our platform. Let me close this. So when we come to desmos.com here, yes, Josephine, can you see my screen? Josephine?
I can see you.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Now read for me the equation that I put on the chart that I told you to copy. And where there's W, replace it with the X. Where there's C, you replace it with the X, and where there's W, replace it with Y. So please read for me.
So
or just read for me as W and C, and I'm going to replace themselves. Read for me the first equation.
C plus 2W.
So that is X plus
2W. 2Y.
That will be 2Y. Are you seeing me typing?
Can you type? I see. Yes.
I've already typed. Are you able to see?
Yes.
Now you are the student, I'm the teacher. Now is less than or greater than?
Is less than 100.
Okay, hold on. I get less than. I've already put less than. Is it less than or equal to?
Yes, less than equal.
Oh yes, less than equal to. I don't want it from the keyboard. I want to put it from here. Yeah, that's the less than or equal to what? What do you have?
100.
100, Josephine. Now, Josephine, can you see what has happened? Let me make it smaller so that you can see. You are the student, and I know, having gone through 844, you must have done this topic in high school, and this is
Yeah.
one of the topics that frustrate most of the students. Students complete high school without grasping a concept on this. We have now
Yes,
drawn
linear.
the linear equation and we have
Linear
shaded.
equation.
Now, Josephine, let's continue. Now, read for me the next one.
The next one is C
See, that is x
is greater or equals 0.
greater or equal to what?
0.
0. Josephine, again, do you see what has happened in my graph? Okay, we are continuing. I'm trying to make it smaller, but no. Now we go to the third one. The third one is what?
The third one is W, which is X.
Oh, W, that is Y.
Which is greater or equals to 0.
Is greater or equal to 0. So I'll push greater or equal to 0 here. And then I come down here and greater or equal to 0. I come off that one, the 0 constraints. And this is what's happening. Now, let me remove this one so that there's no confusion. Let's just have this. So, when you come now, it has already drawn the graph without the students struggling. And this is what they will find, the students will find in the workplace. And let me click away this. Yes, so that we can see it properly. So we want the solution to this particular quadratic equation. No, linear programming. And the solution is always at the point of the intersection of the said region. So the solution will be here. You see this part that have a double sage shading. Any point that will lie on this region will be a solution to that linear equation, to that linear inequality. So you just click on that point like here. Or you click on this point like here. So have you seen what has happened?
Yeah.
So this gives you the solution. The first number solution is 0. The second solution, that number is 50. Do you agree that that number is 50?
Yes, it's 50. Yeah.
A solution is 0. No, when we are graphing now, Josephine, please give me feedback. You are the student. Do you compare this with the same way our teachers teaching them at school?
It's totally different. You know, when you do manual, it's
So,
totally
and
different.
now, when they go to the job market, will they be asked to do the manual one, or they will be given computers and software to help them in their calculation?
They'll be given, because you see, you know, like even if they do it manually, you know, you are not likely to get the correct, even in terms of drawing the graphs and having them correct.
Now we are focusing for employment. We are making these students to have the digital tools so that they can be employed after high school. Now, if you are the policymaker at the Ministry of Education, which one should you focus on? Should you focus on this digital automated one, or should you focus on the manual one?
I would go for this digital
But
automated
again,
one.
what does the data show? The data shows that we have graduates from our university with the first class honors, which are not employable. So Josephine, what I'm trying to demonstrate, I'm gonna give you this link. You may give Mr. Ombwayo also to put it on our website. This is another tool I'm bringing in. No teacher in Kenya knows about this. We're gonna introduce it through this our company. And when we are doing this, I'm only able to have this because of the research. Because of the research that we have done for 11 years in the United States. So I'm again, Josephine, dating your PowerPoint slide with another demo. And in our team, you are the first person to get access to this demo. So we want you, when you make a presentation, it has to be really engaging. It has to be really engaging. Oh, so I'm wondering, let me put it at the end because there's no space. So here, I'll put demo for digital math teacher in a CBE See school. And then I put the link. You can even go and open an account there. It's free. Why is it? Why is it not changing? I don't know why it is not changing. To be a link. Yes, it has now changed. Now, after doing this research and discovering such tools now, Josephine, let me. I didn't download. I got distracted, and I didn't send the lesson plan to the